Okay, today I'm going to show you how to make a road in two-point perspective. I'm also going to throw in the sidewalk, okay? So, I have my building almost complete. I have my two vanishing points still that I've had for the entire project, right? So, I'm going to start off with my sidewalk, okay? I'm going to take my ruler, and I want to add a sidewalk that looks like it's going around my building. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start over on the left-hand side. I always start on the left-hand side. I think it's probably because that's where we start with reading and writing. We write from the left to the right. So, I think that's probably why I start on that side versus the other, but it really doesn't matter. So, I want to make it look like the sidewalk is coming from behind the building here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up with my right vanishing point, and I'm going to bring my sidewalk out from behind my building by just a little bit. Okay, you can even see that it's extending past where the building ends, just by a little bit. So that way I can turn the sidewalk, line it up with my opposite vanishing point now. That is the same side as the building that I'm drawing my sidewalk on right now. I will draw my sidewalk, extend it out past the corner of my building here. It's extended out past, so that way again I can turn it. So now I will line up with my other vanishing point. Where my line ends, line it up with the other vanishing point. Go up, again, bring it past the corner of my building, take it to the vanishing point, the other vanishing point, and connect it to my building. So now it looks like the sidewalk, or this gives the idea that the sidewalk does in fact continue around the two other sides of the building that I cannot see. Alright, so there's the sidewalk. Now if I had more buildings and maybe they were right next to each other, I could just continue tracing, following those angles and lining them up with the vanishing point until I got all the way around my buildings. Okay? If you need help for your specific setup, make sure you're asking. So, now, that's the sidewalk. I want to add a road. Okay. I'm going to use my vanishing points. Okay, so maybe I have a road that comes this way and it runs parallel to my sidewalk. Okay? So, I usually give a little bit of space between my road and my sidewalk just because, there's a curb, there's other things like that that usually happens. Some places it runs right up to the sidewalk, but there's always a curve. There's always a step down. It's not all flat and the same size or the same thickness. So now I'm going to go and draw my road. Again, I just focused on the one side. I left a little bit of space, and as you can see, down towards the base of my paper, where my ground is, where my ground essentially ends because there's no more additional paper, it is wider than at the top. Okay? I ended at where my horizon line is, which is where I said, hey, this is where my ground ends, that is where my road ends. And look at how it makes kind of that triangular shape. Okay? So, 8th graders, you have to have two roads. I've got one. How do I add my second one? I'm going to use my second vanishing point. I'm going to line it up, and I'm going to add a road that intersects with this road that I just drew. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to line up this time with my opposite vanishing point. I'm going to leave, again, some space in between my road and my sidewalk. Not a great deal of space, just a little. Again, starting at my horizon line, I'm going to come and I'm going to bring my road right up to my other road. Okay? Again, I'm going to vanishing point, how wide is my road, horizon line, to the road. Okay? So now my roads intersect. I'm going to erase this little line right here. Okay? So at this point, I could add some more details to make it more like a road. I could, again, lining up with my vanishing point, I could say, hey, this is a 2-lane road. And I could divide it. Okay? I could add the broken line that There's in lots of roads to show that it's a passing zone, or a solid line to show that it's a no passing zone, okay? I could add an arrow to show that, hey, this is a turn lane. Okay, I could divide this road to show that there's 2 roads here. Okay? The possibilities of how to make this look more like a road are pretty endless. It just depends on what type of road you're looking for and how much detail you want to put into it. Okay? So the more details you add, obviously the more it's going to look like a road and less like some lines around a building. So, we added our sidewalk today. We added our road today. I have now completed all of my requirements. I have doors, I have windows, I have a building, I have sidewalk, I have road. Okay? So remember to be referring to how many your classroom or your class periods checklist for what it is that you need to complete on this project. But now there is a video showing every single step, and it's up to you to put it all together.